And be very careful about consistency, especially, dare I say, in our technical writing resume. Okay? So, Microsoft Word, but only Visio. And then Visio is repeated 2 lines later. Okay? Be very, very careful about consistency. So there's a space before this hyphen, no space after. There's no space here. And then further on there's a different format with hyphens and spacing. Okay, this is the stuff that technical writing managers look at, believe it or not, and certainly senior technical writers do also. So some of the, now this person has good experience as I mentioned, but it's not translating very well in the resume. So prepared documentation for new site features that improved site usability. And I would say how? Where's the proof? Did you get feedback? How do you know? What changed? Okay. Implemented features that encourage community interaction, etc., etc. I would say, what features? What did you do? Tell us a little bit more about that. What does that mean? Okay. Identified problems and developed an extensive FAQ to resolve common user issues. Well, an extensive FAQ, to me it sounds like one document. And it might not be. I mean, it might be several pages. But if you say something like it contributed to the knowledge base or something like that, maybe it sounds a little bit better, you know, than an FAQ. Be careful of being informal. Tech, okay? Be careful of being informal in your resumes. Going a little bit further down. Okay, so looking at this next job, improved accuracy of financial reports through programming fixes. You know, that's a great statement, focusing on results. But what were the programming fixes? What does that mean exactly? I don't know. Created quality assurance test plans to identify potential, that identified, okay? Past tense. For business analysts, should be lowercase. This is a very good sentence, by the way, very good point. Solved transaction issues involving trading activity for more than 1 million registered accounts. So this person has gone back and found some numbers. Numbers mean so much in a resume. And this person is solving problems. So there's productivity, there's initiative. That's a great statement. And this person really just needs to go back into the presentation and look at detail, look at values, look at process, and include more information that is going to help them. Because very good experience and obviously a lot of initiative and a lot of education, and some consistency issues also. So on the next page, there are some consistency issues. You know, this statement has a period, this one doesn't. It might not sound very important, but this is the kind of thing that, like I said, the people in technical writing look for, and they can spot it a mile away. So I'm going to go to another resume now and stop recording for a moment. Okay, so this resume, again, this objective statement, to build a successful career in technical communication with an emphasis on policy and procedure writing and content management practices. This objective statement is about, I'm going to say, him. This is about him. Whenever you're thinking about companies, you need to think about them, about their needs, not your needs. So I think that and content management practices, this is actually a goal of this person. It's not their experience. So to me as an employer, I'm reading this, I see content management, I get kind of excited. And then I actually go through the resume and I realize it's a goal. It's not their experience. So, you know, you need to really think about your audience. And so I think replacing this objective statement with a tagline would be much more effective. You know, policy, technical writing, policy and procedure writing. Okay? Think about how people need to look at your resume all the time. So there's some issues lining up of the text, right? I mean, those jump out at you. There needs to be a tools section. Okay, you can remove typing speed. You absolutely can. Nobody wants to know your typing speed unless you're a secretary. So you need a tools section. I wasn't familiar with some of these terms. Editorial markup. That's not a term I'm familiar with. Or dedication to producing quality documentation informed by accurate research. So informed. It's a little bit of awkward usage. Okay, so it's about localizing your resume also. And other good things to include in a profile section would be your environments. For example, government, post-secondary in this case. Okay, because the more environments you've been exposed to, the more terms, more experience you have. It's a really powerful tool to use. Now this particular resume also, as we go through it, you would see that it's all government experience and almost all nonprofit. And in analyzing a strategy for this resume, it would be that walking into or trying to get a job in a software company would be quite difficult, okay, a private sector software company. So, because that's not where any of the experience is. But this person could easily walk into a government environment, easily. And government jobs pay very well, and there's a lot of them if you have experience there. So always think about where you can target your resume to. Now, saying that this is a contract in the nonprofit sector, I would only include nonprofit sector if that's the only place that you want to work. Okay? Going through this resume, coordinated, that's a weak word. Okay? This resume, essentially, this person gets a lot more mileage out of their experience. So, coordinated research activities with staff and clients of various organizations across the GTA. So, various organizations. If these organizations are prominent, then that's a good thing to put in your resume, right? Brand name recognition. If there's a lot of these organizations, and there's quite a bit of complexity and difficulty in organizing all of this, then putting in the numbers of the organization would give more clarity and a better impression. Okay, so essentially this resume needs detail, process, results, and values back to the presentation. So managed project to meet target requirements and deadlines using Microsoft Project. So what was the project that you managed? You know, what was it big? Was it small? Was it important? What's involved? What is the process? Okay, you need to paint a picture. Diverse range of people. I don't know what that means. Can you talk to executives and can you talk to laymen people? Is that the idea? So we need some clarity around some of the terms. Okay. Assisted, down at the bottom. Assisted is a very, very weak verb also. You could say as part of a team, researched and drafted funding proposals. Funding proposals. Can you say anything more about that? Can you talk about what was the dollar amount of the proposals, if it was significant? where there are a number of proposals, where there are tight deadlines, where there, you need to inject what is relevant for technical writing, which is deadlines, accuracy, speed, productivity, working with technical terms. All of this you need to inject into this resume to make yourself into the perception of a technical writer, because this person is a technical writer, but you need to present that. So participated, that's a weak verb as well. Writing policy directives. I don't know what that means, but if there's some good technical words or keywords out of that, then you should include them. So policy directives on X, Y, Z to show if it was technical or if it's relevant to the next job. Okay, so think about that. Using FrameMaker. This could help or hurt you by putting the tool inside your job description. And I'll tell you why. Because if you used FrameMaker and it was 8 years ago, well then somebody's going to look at your resume and say, well, they haven't used FrameMaker in 8 years. Or in this case, maybe 5 years. And so then it's a disservice to you to insert FrameMaker. And by keeping FrameMaker just in your tools section, well then you're still getting the advantage of naming the tool. Okay? So we always look for ways to reduce getting thrown into the other pile. So going a little bit further down, prepared written summaries of research findings and conference activities. Okay, I don't know what conference that is, but if it was a big conference, if there were a lot of people that came, if there were people that came from all over the world, it's a global conference, doesn't that sound a lot better than just a conference? Think about any way that you can help your user understand exactly what you did. And the other risk of including the tool in your job description is that you might forget about it in your list of tools, which is the case that happened here. Microsoft Publisher was not included in the list of tools. Okay? Recruiters are not going to read your entire resume. They hate reading resumes. So they will look at your list of tools to find what they need. Okay, so you need to think about that.